Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, and welcome back to Shadows of Sorcery, Session 49. We're getting up there in the numbers. We're a little late starting today, though. For reasons known only to the god of sleep himself.
And also
and Zarian and everyone else in the call. Indeed. Welcome, everybody, to Shadows of Sorcery. I am joined this evening by the one who thinks October is already here. It's Elfie Oakwood.
I'm proud.
The one who thinks it's October all year round. It's lying in bed, Mon.
I don't think that. Also, it's legally the 2nd of October, which October is already here.
I know. And the one who thinks it's always October in their heart. It's Mixolydia.
Yeah, not wrong.
We've seen the back collection.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's good to be back after the break that we had last week due to everyone being a bit under the weather.
September. Such a cruel mistress.
Indeed.
I keep saying the safe word and she keeps going.
Oh!
My.
This is bad procedure. This is good. This is not good protocol. This is not a healthy BDSM environment.
Oh my. Oh my.
Is Dungeons and Dragons ever a healthy BDSM environment? No.
I don't think
Well-
Lucian ever gave us like a content warning sheet, so probably not now.
No, I didn't give you a content warning sheet. That's true. Maybe I should have. Oh well. Right. So, who wants to do the recap? We're learning! We're learning! Alright, I'll do it. Just this once. Okay, so... Last we left off, our troop of adventurers had narrowly escaped the icy depths of the Farandan Dam, where they had just returned from the dwarven city of Farandan, an ancient dwarven stronghold left to the frozen north, empty and desolate. A pilgrimage site for dwarves seeking knowledge of their holy relics and holy places. You all narrowly escaped the icy waters as you traversed the descending bridge out of the dwarven city once more. And you are now all standing at the top of the massive dam that makes up the city's main, possibly power source? You're not entirely certain. With you, flying overhead, a severed head hanging from its claws, is a large-looking raven. And standing beside you are your party members, who all look a little bit out of breath.
I don't like running.
What's the matter? You never been to a dwarven bridge before?
No! I'm a city gay!
Oh, it's great, great cardio. We used to do this back and forth all day.
Well, you're not carrying a kobold and a full set of heavy armor. Anyway, where are we headed?
Does anybody remember?
I wasn't here for the last half of the session.
That's true.
Right, yeah, you weren't.
So you guys are headed back to Devilmora, the town on the southern-ish side of the Cragstead Mountains, where you were to perform a burial of sorts.
Okay, well, let's head, I'm guessing, in this direction. Are we going in the right direction?
I mean, you're going in a direction.
Is it the right one?
Well, you guys climbed up the dam to
Yeah.
get here. So...
Why did we do that? Let's go through this cave.
The cave
See what we
goes
know.
I mean-
not towards the town, but there is a structure there. I
There
guess
is
we could
there
check
is a
it out.
cave.
There's a tunnel.
Well, maybe we're on the side
Well.
then?
It's more like an archway, but yeah, there's like steps that lead up. You see like there's a jagged opening in the rock that, while it doesn't look dwarf carved, it does look like something was hammered out of that area. And you can see smooth, worn steps that over the centuries have been worn down by dwarvish feet, that slowly lead through this archway and up across the cliff.
I mean, it's worth checking out.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun. If we were questing in a straight direction, this may be seen as deviating from that straight path, such as we could call it a side quest. Perchance. Let's fucking go. I want to see what's in this cave. And also, I don't like my chances of falling down that ravine. Don't be real.
Yeah, if it gets too dark though,
Wow.
we might need to we might need somebody who can cast a kind of a light spell. Hey, librarian, could you come up here and help us out?
Yeah,
The librarian steps forward, patting his pockets as he does so. Going through, he pulls out this small blue book that you've seen him use in the past. And I need to very quickly check to see what spells Zarian has rolled for this week. Because...
I think they have, like, an illumination cantrip of some sort. I think they've used it before. Maybe? I don't know.
They may have, but the thing about the librarian that's interesting is they roll new cantrips every week.
Oh
Or
my
every
goodness.
new cantrips every third long rest. They roll new ones. Because the way their character works is one of their main class features is that they can get up to 7 cantrips, but they'll re-roll them every week. So yeah. Let's see what the librarian has at the moment checked on the box.
Show me the
Spell.
librarian's box.
Okay.
Fuck.
You're right there, babes.
My mother apparently decided it was a perfect time to spill an entire jar of water all over the carpet.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
Do you need to assist?
I've mopped it up as best I can. It's just gonna have to dry.
Okay. The librarian sort of looks through the index and goes, well, I don't have anything for light, but I can do this, I guess. And he throws up a minor illusion whose whole purpose is just to provide bright light. It gives you about 5 to 10 feet of dim-ish light. The illusion is bright, but it falls off very quickly. So yeah.
Yeah. Ah, that'll do. Come on, chaps.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk forward, assuming that the whole party's.
Roll
Coming
me a. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, of course, because traps exist. Ah. Ah.
Do I also need to roll for this then?
Dexterity.
That depends. Were you keeping pace with Prod, or?
I mean, I was keeping Prod in eyesight.
21.
Okay, no.
Fuck you.
21. Okay. Prod, you walk forwards. All of these heavy stone stairs are worn smooth. They look like they haven't been carved or anything. They haven't been chiseled. They just look like they've been worn smooth over time. Until you hit one, you put your weight on it, and the whole stair drops by half an inch. It just goes. This stair has been worked. You can't tell. The dwarven craftsmanship is so good that it looks like the whole stair was just eroded over time. But it drops. You look to your left, you hear something. Your brain processes mechanisms. And you see in the wall there's several little crevices, gaps. You leap back just as 4-foot spikes slide out of the wall incredibly fast, spring-loaded and deadly. You step back. The closest spike to you goes a hair's breadth away from your nose as you stumble back in surprise and mild fright.
Bollocks.
The spikes themselves are polished iron, but you do notice that a few of them have smatterings of dark reddishness on them. And you also notice, you realize now that one of the spikes was being hidden because there was a skull embedded on the end. And you watch as they retract back into the wall, that skull embeds itself into the wall as well, becoming part of like this white rocky surface. You can barely tell that the trap is there.
Right. That step is bad. Hey, my darling. And I go, hang on, my brain. I go up to Darren. I'm like, Darren, I feel like you need to be looking, and you can see things. Please go in front.
Are you
That step is
asking-
evil.
Are you asking the rogue to check for traps?
I'm asking the rogue to check for traps.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
Although, I have noticed there is one right there. So you don't need to check for that one, I know it's there.
Mhm. I don't actually think rogues in this version have any particular, like, skill at locating traps, but, well, I could try, nonetheless.
Your perception's quite high. And also, you're highly
my-
throwable, so if we
My
still can't figure
perception
out...
is +1.
Your investigation's pretty high, though.
My
You can
investigation
use
cannot
that.
be lower than 19, so...
Do you want to investigate for traps?
Yeah, I guess I will
chance.
investigate for traps then.
Yeah, when it comes to like trap detection, I will allow perception or investigation for it.
Okay,
Um,
that's convenient.
depending on how long you want to take for it.
It is 19.
It is 19 because you rolled a 7. So.
Yep. The benefit of that,
My
of that
God.
class feature.
Yeah, no, these traps, while well hidden to a human eye, are no match for a dwarf's eye. They're simple, plain. Most of these are what you recognize as grave robbing traps. Mostly to keep away looters and stuff like that. They're nothing complicated. In fact, a few of them look downright pedestrian in their antiquity. But you do manage to detect quite a few along this staircase. There's maybe 4 or 5 of them interspaced across the walls and the floor. There's a particularly nasty one where you notice that if you step on the wrong half of one of these stairs, the entire floor section just gives away and then flips back up. A massive drop pit. You manage to skirt around all of these and make your way up to the end of this small winding sort of staircase, where you get to a large tower, a tall stone edifice that is perched on the edge of the cliff that overlooks the pass below and the river as it flows down the gorge in the middle of the Cragstead Mountains.
Is this like a, does this look like a watchtower or some other purpose?
A watchtower, yes. But one of the things that you notice is that while its placement would make you think that it's a watchtower, the stonework... Roll me a history check.
Oh, boy. History's +5. It does not get. It does not get a minimum of 10. Yep. Goodbye.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
This is why that
Can,
feature is
can
so
I roll
useful.
a history check?
Sure, Prod, you can roll a history check. Because this is dwarvish architecture, you'll be rolling at disadvantage.
Don't worry, I'm already at -1. That's a 14!
That's a 14. Okay. Fair enough. Darren, you've spent a lot of time...
My family were blacksmiths, not stonemasons.
Yeah, you've spent a lot of time around metal. And a lot of the traps were made with metal. Stone is not your area of expertise. The best you can tell is that it's old. Prod. You spent a little bit of time looking around Therandan, just kind of poking your nose where it probably shouldn't have been. Looking at this, you notice that while all the stone that Tharandan itself is built from has been quarried from the mountains around it and within it, this structure isn't quite the same shade. As if it was built a long time after the city had been built.
Huh. I think this is a bit more modern, you know. Sort of download that information.
Would Ingvar know anything with him being, you know, a minor
Roll me an
engineer?
intelligence check.
Oh.
With advantage because of your background.
He just. Oh god, they are gone.
Goodbye, dice.
And how it be?
So 12 plus. What? 30.
30?
13!
Oh, 13. You divine basically the same thing that Prod has. The building is newer in its construction than the city itself, essentially. Maybe by a few centuries. There is a door.
That looks door!
I mean, there might be a way down to the river from here, like through the tower. Might as well just have a peek. As long as we're not disturbing any remains or anything, I don't think we'll be trespassing.
Well, more importantly, no one's lived here in centuries, so...
And all the statues are dead dwarves, so...
Yeah.
I'm saying that as the librarian, by the way. That was the librarian
okay.
in character going, oh, and all the statues are dead dwarves, so...
Let's go in.
Do I need to sleight of hand this door to get it open, or...?
Yes, it is locked, as far as you can tell.
Alright.
If
Where's
you
the
need
girl
someone to
pointing?
just bash their head against it, I'll do it, by the way.
Do I get advantage for that with my thieves' tools? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've had to pick a lock.
It's your character sheet lying, not mine.
Yeah, but my expertise is 3.5, not 5e.
Yeah, I know. Maybe one day we'll go back to 2e AD&D, which is my expertise.
Okay, so proficiency with these tools lets you add your proficiency bonus to ability checks, make 2 disarm traps or open locks, so irrelevant. Okay. That's fine. Still can't roll lower than 16, so there we go. That is 22.
22, okay. The first thing you notice about this door is that it doesn't have a lock, but it is locked. The second thing you notice is that where a lock should be, there's a small circular plate with finger sort of holds in it that you press into, and the whole thing moves slightly inwards, and you can twist it a little bit. You try your luck for a few times, and eventually you manage to catch the sound of the tumblers in the door clicking into place, until eventually you pull it slightly to the right, and you feel the bolt slide back, and the door opens.
Hey.
That's a weird door. Okay. Well, it's open, everybody.
Can I locate a rock to wedge under the door to make sure it remains open?
Yeah, sure.
I locate a rock and wedge it under the door as a doorstop to make sure the door doesn't close on us and we don't get trapped in a tower.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy stone door, but yeah, you can wedge a rock under there.
Oh,
Easily
I'll wedge it open. I'm mistrustful of these things now. I've learnt.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is there a way down, or is it only up?
So there's a staircase going up. Though it is a rather tight affair, shall we say.
I've seen tighter in belfries, it's fine.
Like your mum.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, my mother was a bell ringer.
There is a solid wooden floor below.
I'm gonna investigate, see if there's like a trapdoor or something here.
Okay.
Alley-oop. Okay, that is a 19.
19. Um,
God, I love this class feature.
You look across the floor is solid, the walls are pretty solid. There doesn't seem to be any room for trapdoors or anything of that nature. Probably.
Does anything about the floor seem out of place at all, or?
Not with a 19.
Fair enough. Let's head up.
Yep, totally unremarkable.
Is there any way you can TP us to the top?
Yes, there is.
Just imagine we went through to the top, because
Yeah,
get in the way
I'm
of
just
that
gonna
tower.
There's a portion
slide
of
you.
ladder here anyways, so...
Yeah,
Fly me to the top.
there you go.
Oh, it's such a pretty view. Lads, get up here.
Ingo's just gonna look at the staircase, go, nah, too tight for me, and just fly up on the back of Chasm instead.
Yeah, staircase
Oh, well,
built by a
some
rope
of us
ladder
don't
to the
have
person with the prosthetic
dragons.
leg.
Not my fault.
Yeah. You guys come up to the top of this, what looks to be like a giant gravestone at this point, considering the height and width of the tower and how thin it is. You look out and you can see all the way down the valley gorge, all the way to the intersection where the river splits. You can see the bridges. You can see right the way down to the pass that leads to the city of Fahrenholm. It's a beautiful view. It is very cold, very chilly, but it is beautiful. You look to your right as well. Down below, you can see the remnants of the magical doorway to the Wandering Library, where you first picked up the librarian, who has elected to stay downstairs due to the height. You also look up. You look further up to the peaks. You realize that you are not far, well, figuratively speaking, you are not far horizontally from where you found the skyship. Vertically speaking, it's probably a good day and a half climb. But horizontally, maybe 800 feet, 900 feet?
In what direction?
To the north.
Oh, so the skyship was way out there.
Hmm.
It's a very pretty view, but
It
as
is.
far
I'm
as you can
honestly just
tell-
enjoying this. This is gorgeous.
I'm just gonna reach into my pocket and make sure the vials from that ship are still intact.
Mhm.
Yeah, when are you
Um,
gonna chug them?
Not having that discussion here.
I mean, they match you.
Eh?
But I guess this isn't the way home, so... Can you guys spot another way down? That's
Gravity?
not scaling the cliffs?
I don't know about another way down, but does anybody else see that door?
Or?
It's the one to the Wandering Library.
Was it there the last time? I know the librarian punted out of a door. But I thought that door crumbled. Or vanished.
Where are
the
you looking? I'm not
doorway
seeing it.
is still there, but the door itself was blasted into pieces, and it just kind of hangs limply from its hinges in the wind. Whatever magic that sustained it is long gone.
Forgive me. 20 sessions ago.
No, you're
It was a
good.
while back.
No. That's at least like a week ago in Canada. That's as long as my memory lasts.
Wait, are
About
those
now.
ladders that go down the dam?
That's how we got up before, yeah.
I didn't know there were ladders!
Well, there are handholds, not necessarily ladders. There's like, it's you know how like they used to have old like stonework used to have like large grooves in them for like ladder type things. They're not really ladders. You can use them to climb, but it's difficult. And with a dam this old, they're slick and wet. And covered in slime. And ice.
Slice.
So another way to run steam.
I'm gonna clamber down.
Okay.
Right,
Do I
yeah, I'm
notice
heading
anything on the
down
way
too.
No, not really. I mean, at the end of the day, the best you can divine is that this place was a watchtower. But yeah, that's all I can really give you with what you rolled.
Well,
Fair enough.
Oh.
We come down from there and let's go for climbing the dam down, and if
Climbing
not,
down
we'll
the dam.
climbing down the dam, because there's no evident way.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to need everybody to make me either an athletics or acrobatics check.
none of those are covered by my cool new class feature.
Athletics or acrobatics? I'm so glad you asked, because
Acrobatics
my
plus
athletics is a +8, so that's 17.
I was just going to fly down, but you know.
Oh, yeah, no, if you want to fly down Ingvar, you can. Ingvar just
16.
The
hops
ultimate
on a dragon
mobility
and,
aid.
fly-
a
and
dragon.
flies down. Yeah. Ingvar
Who
is
needs a
completely...
wheelchair? I want a dragon.
I rolled a 16.
16. Yeah, you managed to clamber down the dam with basically no issues. It's relatively easy. It's dwarf work, and you know your way around dwarf work.
Oh no.
Okay, the librarian rolled an 8. Who wants to catch the librarian?
I'll do it.
Yeah, you'll have
Okay.
to do it.
What did you roll, Prod?
I rolled a 17.
17. You're fine. You start climbing down, and the librarian starts climbing down after you. For a moment, everything's fine, and then one of the handholds that the librarian grabs is slightly too slippy, and their hand loses grip, and they suddenly just drop past you. Instinctively, you just lunge out an arm and grab them and swing them and send them into a snowdrift at the bottom of the dam. Narrowly avoiding the fate of a freezing cold dip in a fast-flowing river. Visra is up next, and with their stats, they manage just fine. Pop.
Woo!
I'm just gonna get Kazuma just to pluck the librarian out of the snow. You okay?
I'm fine. Little cold. Little cold. Okay. So, are you all heading back to Devilmora?
I think soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm gonna...
I see no further plot point here.
Yes. I'm gonna speed up time a little bit. The Raven circles you all as the day wears on and you travel back across the pass, through the gorge, along the road to the town of Devilmora, out on the outskirts of the Cragstead Mountains, until eventually you arrive at the small town on the edge. You can see below the vast rolling plains extending south as you make your way in to town. The cliffside that Devilmora is built on is inhospitable, but it does present a lovely view of the terrain below you all.
Because it's hovering in midair.
Because it's hovering in midair. Because the world does not exist. Okay. So, you, as you all arrive back in town, the first thing you notice is that, Darren, is that outside the door to Olgar's premises, shall we say, sits a large black raven carrying a severed head. And it sits in front of the door, awaiting you patiently, with its beady little eyes looking far too intelligent for a normal bird. In fact, its size betrays more of its abnormality than its eyes do. He's not
wrong?
meant to be here. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're really not. Okay. The bird sort of cocks its head at you and caws in a questioning manner as it sort of sits next to the door. The door, which I should mention, is covered in yellow dyed rope with black stripes on it.
Is that the fantasy equivalent of crime scene tape?
Fancy equivalent of crime scene tape, yep. You notice that someone has spent maybe a good 6 to 8 days painting tiny letters that say Town Watch on the rope, but sometimes they've missed an A, so it just says Town Watch. Yeah.
Oh dear. I feel bad for ruining this doll art, as it were, but I think our friend wants in. You know, Ingvar being the animal.
Is the rest of the body still in there?
As far
I'm
as you
assuming
know.
so.
I don't know what the Raven is asking of me at this point, because I can't speak with animals. That was the librarian.
Ah, yeah.
Oh.
No, wasn't it
No,
Ingvar who was speaking with
Ingvar's
the
the
resident?
one who can.
Okay, no, my mistake.
Who I have just accidentally yeeted into the void.
Dang it, our only translator.
Hold on.
Oh no, there he
Right.
is. I've got him.
Okay. Rise,
Damn it.
Ingvar, rise. There we go.
There.
Okay. Well, from what you can tell, the bird wants in. I'll give you that for free.
Ah, let the fucking bird in.
Legally, I don't think I'm allowed to.
Uh,
What do
How
I
about
get?
if we
What
start
do
doing
I care
legal
about
things?
laws? So
Let the
gonna,
bird in. He's having a tough time.
I'm
I
just
mean-
gonna try and lift the crime scene rope.
Yeah, it's
enough for the Raven to get through.
just rope. It's been loosely strung over the door to provide warning, but it's not locking anything off. You push open the door. The inside is still frozen cold. The body is still sitting in the corner. There's blood all over the walls, as usual. The cloaked figure standing in the middle of the room, holding a dagger and chanting as blood pours from their wrist, is a different matter entirely.
Oh, that's new.
You look into the room. There's this tall, skeletal-looking figure with their arms outstretched, one knife wielding, one hand raised with blood just trickling down their arm. They hold themselves with their back to you, hooded in black velvet, perhaps.
Do they seem to have noticed me?
They have not noticed you yet. They are chanting under their breath. The only reason you didn't hear them was because the door was closed at the time.
See.
But you have caught them by surprise. You notice on the floor there is a large sigil drawn in blood.
Do I recognize it at all?
Can I quickly use my divine sensing and divinely sense the vibe?
Divinely sense
Your
the
vibe checking the figure.
Are these evil? Is this feeling demonic? Is this feeling like it's from the Nine Hells?
I mean, that is a blood
you
sigil on the
vibe
floor.
check the room.
I vibe check.
You vibe check, and the sense that you get back immediately is infernal, which is betrayed by what at first you thought was just the blood running down the skin of this figure, and with they have their sleeves sort of pulled back. But then you start to realize that that's not just blood. Their skin is red, like ruby red. And you see long black nails and this heavy-looking iron collar that sticks out the side of their hood.
Okay.
Can't tell.
Prod's gonna
Keep
do
thinking
something a
devil.
bit. Gonna do something a bit weird. I'm gonna get my water skein out, which has all my water in it, and I'm gonna throw it like a like a water bomb at the floor to so it'll burst and then wash away some of the runes that have been made in
Cool.
blood.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Roll me. This isn't going to be a high DC. Roll me a just a straight dexterity check to see if you can land this properly.
Straight dexterity.
Yep, just roll me a d20 and add your dex.
9.
9? Yeah, that'll do. You throw the water flask on the ground. Immediately, it washes away a few of the symbols. The figure stops chanting. Stands there, resting, its arms raised. It lowers them. You see it brings them in, folds them to its chest, and turns.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, there goes the surprise round.
What you see, standing before you, probably a good 8 feet tall, robed in black, with across the front you see these red runes that are all across this heavy cloak. The cloak itself, the hood is long, it covers most of the face, but you see the lower half. It looks like a skull, a red, gaunt skull that has been emaciated by time, centuries past. There is
Evil.
skin slowly peeling off of this creature's face. Their eyes glimmer this deep-set, blazing orange.
Oh.
Who here speaks Infernal?
That's a question and a half.
I don't think I do.
Elman, Dwarven, because Kent Draconic.
What are my languages?
Where are the languages?
What are the languages?
This is why I wrote mine down in my notes.
I know that my character doesn't speak Infernal. I don't need to check. I'm thoroughly aware that they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Ingvar does.
Okay. So, basically none of the party speak Infernal. This figure in the house turns towards you all, and what you hear is something along the lines of as this figure sort of draws this blade forward and thrusts it, points it at the bird behind you that is carrying the head.
Are they trying to... Oh! Because they want that guy! So... Wait.
They can find out how he made the potions and stuff.
So how they made the potions. So we really gotta stop them getting the head.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Can I just begin initiative and attack this guy?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Okay. Do I have to roll initiative? Or can I just start attacking?
Do we get a surprise round despite the fact he's clearly pointing in our direction?
I will say the cancellation of the ritual this figure was casting was your surprise round.
Yep. Not much.
So yeah, let's I guess let's roll initiative, I suppose. Let me bring out the mini for this creature in question.
Let's all get in the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are all at the doorway at the moment, except for Prod, who is in the room at the moment.
Can you open the door so I can come in?
Door is open.
You're at the wrong house.
Ah,
That is still the wrong house.
we're
Over here, you dumbass!
First alley to the left.
look. Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Let me quickly...
My
grab-
characters have low int because I have low int, okay?
There we go. That'll do.
I think you're selling yourself short a bit there, but okay.
Okay.
You have decent int, you have terrible whiz.
My whiz is I'm wise as hell.
Exactly.
Okay. So, initiative order. Give me 25 to 20. 20 to 15. 15 to 10?
12.
14.
Okay. 14, 12.
12.
What is
12.
your modifier, Lydia?
Huh?
What's
I
your,
got
what's your initiative modifier?
+5.
Okay, mine's +7. So it's Prod, me, and then you.
Then the librarian at the end of all that. Okay. And Visera at the front. Which is kind of bad because Visera is at the back. Okay. So Visera is gonna go first, and they're just gonna kind of stand there and go, "What's going on? I can't see." As they try to look over your shoulders, Darren, because they are somehow shorter than you.
I'm a dwarf, not a gnome.
Okay. Let's get some battle music in, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Alright. Next up, Xantharis, the Deep Speaker.
Oh no.
It's so convenient that every time we get to combat with someone, we just mysteriously learn their name.
Well, you know,
Right down to the
sometimes
pronunciation. That's so convenient.
that's just the way it is.
Job interviews, but
This-
initiating a brawl.
Creature of the Hells draws this long, thin, black obsidian blade across their palm, throws it out in a wave, and you watch as the blood shimmers into the air as this large, curved crescent. And they're gonna attack you with it, probably.
Rod's gonna go, ah!
So...
That's
They
spooky.
roll a 17 to hit.
No. Bounces off me, baby. Bounce!
This
Right off the ab window.
heavy curved scimitar made of blood bounces off your armor, just barely not hitting.
It's gonna be
They-
so anemic right now.
Are going to... Well, no, they're not, because you'll get an opportunity of attack if they do that. They're going to stay where they are. But with their bonus action, you watch as the dagger itself, you see it starts to glow this deep sort of black around the edge of the blade itself, sort of augmenting this already dark visual. Prod, you're up.
Cool. Have we long rested since the last combat that we did?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, fantastic. So, as my bonus action, I'm gonna go into a rage. And I'm gonna swing my mighty sword
All right.
at the evil being that seems to be scary.
Fair enough.
Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna stay in melee range. I'm just gonna move over here, so if anyone else wants to come stab him, they can.
Yep.
Um,
Fair enough.
and I'm gonna swing once. That's not at all what I meant to do. On my first swing, 17 to hit.
17 does not hit.
Okay, and I have a second attack, so I'll also need to click the right button. There we go. So I'm actually swinging the right sword. 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
And that will do a 16 plus 3, 19 damage.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
Yeah, Prod's got nothing else other than just hitting it at the moment because he's out of spell slots.
19 points of damage. You watch as this as this figure sort of recoils as your blade goes through its figure. You notice that a lot of it doesn't seem as physical as it should be.
Oh.
It's there, and it exists in your world, and you can hurt it. But parts of it, especially like the robe, look like your sword never hit.
Prod doesn't know what to do about this, so he's gonna yell, "Scram!"
Are you attempting to intimidate?
No! I mean, yes. Prod's gonna attempt to intimidate.
Okay.
Alfie has no...
Roll me
knows this
intimidation.
won't work.
Roll me intimidation.
Intimidation. I've got quite a high intimidation. 13?
13.
The high intimidation.
You yell scram, and the figure sort of bares its teeth and goes back at you. It's
tried.
not impressed. Darren, you're up.
Okay, well, step 1, move into combat range, I guess. Okay.
I sort of imagine Darren muttering that as he like shuffles forward. Da-da-da.
And I guess I'll go for an attack with my magic knife.
Okay.
It's
Go
not
for it.
ghost touch, but let's see if it works anyway.
You are flanking, so you
I
get
am flanking.
advantage and sneak attack.
Yep. So let's see, that is +7. That is
Good
21.
thing you had advantage
Yeah.
there.
Why do you think I was trying to get advantage? My rolls are garbage. 21.
21 will just hit.
Okay, that is 66 plus 2. Eh. 29 points.
29 points of damage. What type
I
of...
may be utterly garbage at most things, but this I can do.
What type of damage is the blade of the knife? I'm assuming it is a magic knife. I know that much.
Yeah, it's piercing damage.
Piercing damage. Okay, yeah, that's fine. 29 points of damage. Not bad. Ingvar, you're up.
Well, I had a stupid idea, but I can't remember if anybody's got fire type spells on them or can't whatever.
Let's see, fire. I do not. I have acid. That's it.
I don't have
Yeah.
cantrips.
Balls. Because my idea was to throw the bottle of moonshine at them. Because alcohol
We're
is
in
flammable.
the building too. This building is flammable.
Also, it's a demon, so it's probably gonna have fire resistance.
That's true. Wait, if he's got fire, is a Cerberus flail just physical damage?
Just for it's magical bludgeoning, but it's inherently just bludgeoning.
Bugger, for some reason my brain was going,
Or
it's ice
slashing.
type. It's like, no. No, it's not. Because I am shit out of arrows.
Mm.
Apart from one lightning arrow.
Remember,
We'll buy you some
creative
more.
use of the terrain and everything around you is always rewarded.
Well, that's
Well,
why I thought
some-
fire might work, but the building would go up and...
Yeah, it would.
I mean,
I do have torches.
there's a big cauldron. You could, like, yeet that off the wall and smack him over the head with it.
I was going to say there's a fireplace, but that's again fire. Ah. This is a
Although we don't, isn't this, like, set in a really icy place? Is there, like, an icicle hanging somewhere
in the
that
house.
you can use as, like, as an arrow?
I mean, there's
Uh.
like massive icicles hanging from all over the place in this place. It's frozen territory, basically.
And I'm technically still outside.
And you're technically
Well,
still
technically
outside.
still outside, yes.
It's going to be with disadvantage because how the hell am I going to fire an icicle?
Oh.
I'm guessing for one thing, we're going to cast Hunter's Mark because yes,
Thumbs mark, yes.
and then maybe grab for one of the slimmer looking icicles. You know, not one that's 30 foot wide. You know,
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
slimmer.
You quickly break off an icicle from the top from like the edge of a roof. It's actually decently designed. When you break it off, the back has like a little notch in it. It doesn't have feathers, and it's not really designed to be fired from a bow, so you will be firing it with disadvantage. But I believe you get advantage on general attacks, so you'll just be firing it at a flat roll.
Yeah, because he's a proficient with the bow.
Mhm.
So it's just, yeah. Now my question is, would this count as 2 icicles for the double and board?
Yes. It'll count as 2.
Perfect. That's
Because
Well,
the magic is in the bow, not the arrows, so.
fair. Plus 10. Gotta
Plus
remember,
10,
just...
it's 24.
yeah.
That will hit.
Hey,
Wherever that dice. And that's 22.
That'll hit again. Roll me... Gods, icicles. Okay, roll me... Roll me 2d8 per icicle.
I think it's 1d.
Hmm?
I don't remember if it's 1 or 2 for 1 per arrow or just 1 in general, please.
It's 1 per
But
arrow.
Oh, okay. These dice are glitching in and out of existence.
Okay. Is that 21
That's the
total?
Yeah, 21 total.
Okay. So, you snap off this icicle from the nearby roof. You string it into your bow. You line up, take the shot, release. The icicle doubles, and you watch as it streaks towards this creature, hits it once in the shoulder, another time in the shoulder, shoving it back by about 5 feet into the wall, where it gets pinned as these icicles slam into its torso. It takes 42 points of cold damage because it is vulnerable to cold.
Yay!
And it is grappled, technically, until its next turn, because it is pinned to a wall. And it growls at you. It is not happy. As the cold starts to seep into its infernal bones.
Nice one, Ingvar!
Anchor. And that's it for Ingvar, because he's already born.
Okay, Kazma. You can just let Kazma wait it out.
Yeah, that might be the best idea, because there's not a lot of room for a dragon in there. What he could
Not
do is
really,
maybe,
no.
you know, I think the best thing for Kazma is it was just maybe gather some more icicles. So the dragon's gonna gather ice or two or
Okay. The librarian is gonna just head by you, Ingvar, and stand outside the building where it's relatively safe, and they're gonna Eldritch Blast. And one of those will hit. The 17 will hit. So, Eldritch Blast. Very quickly. Oh wait, Let's see. Oh no, okay, that's fine. And the damage for Eldritch Blast is 9 points of force damage. I don't really know what to do with a warlock, so I'm going to leave that there. Visera is not going to get involved. I can't puppet so many characters around. This is getting irritating. Xanthris, the Deep Speaker, now pinned to a wall, is going to use their bonus action to pull the icicles out of their shoulders, which will deal an extra 5 points of damage to them as they do so. A cold sizzling on their flesh. Then they're going to turn to you, Darren, because you are the closest one here. Their blood scimitar at the ready. They are going to slash at you with both the scimitar and the dagger. That is a 17 and a 20 to hit.
Okay, right. 17 and a 20 both hit.
Both hit? Okay, so first the Crimson Scimitar.
I'm gonna use my uncanny dodge and my reaction to make it deal half damage.
Okay. So the Crimson Scimitar is going to deal 11 damage, which will be halved through your uncanny dodge, so that would be 5.
Right.
And the Obsidian dagger is going to deal 11 points of damage as well, and is going to... You are now... do you have... what resistances do you have, real quick?
I mean, as a dwarf, I'm poison resistant.
Yeah.
Dwarven resilience. I get advantage from saving throws against poison, and I'm resistant against poison damage.
This is not a poison effect. But no, it's not a poison effect. You, as the dagger slashes across your skin, you feel your skin start to burn as the immolation effect starts to take hold of your body. For the next 3 rounds, you will take one... this is the wrong dice. Fuck. This one. I need this one. It's wrong dice, don't worry. You will take 1d12 of fire damage every round for the next 3 rounds. So you take 2 points of fire damage.
I get a saving throw or anything, or is just not get stabbed?
It's... I mean, you can try and put it out. You can see, like, where the dagger has scraped your arm. There's this large gash that is glowing like red-hot coals that is slowly searing itself into your arm.
Want to put an icicle on that.
Yeah. Xanthris used their bonus action to get out of the icicles, so yeah, that's it. Prod, you're up.
I can't really do much other than try and hit it again. I'm gonna try and... Is there any, like, yeah, there's nothing really in the house that I can use. I'm inching around.
I mean, there's a big pot you mentioned before. There's a few different things around.
Long.
True. I'm gonna take the pot, and I'm gonna try and put the pot over this guy's head.
Okay.
So he can't see.
Not what I was expecting.
This will be... I'll say this will be an attack, but because you're aiming for a specific body part, it'll be at a slightly higher DC.
Okay.
But you are flanking, so you get advantage.
What kind of attack?
Just a flat D20 and add your strength modifier.
Okay.
Because this is a physical thing. But you get advantage because you are flanking, because lying Darren has its attention right now.
Okay, give me 1 second to roll. Wait, where's my dice? There's my dice. 220. That would be a natural 20 plus 4, so 24.
24. I will say, only a natural 20 would have allowed you to do this because of the way... Okay, so the DC I set for this was 25. Because you got a natural 20, I am allowing it. So, you grab this heavy iron pot, flip it upside down, bring it down on this creature's head, hood and all disappearing into the black void that is the interior of this iron pot. And then you grab the pommel of your sword and you ring it. I would like you to roll me, let's say 4d10. Why not?
40-10, fuck yeah!
4d10.
He's gonna have such a headache.
4d10. Boom. That would be 14.
14 points of, let's say, ear-ringing headache damage.
Headache damage. Can I
and
still
he's
use my
blinded.
extra attack?
Yeah, I'd say you can. He is also now blinded. So he's at disadvantage for any attacks that he performs.
Blinded. I'm gonna stab him. Well,
Okay.
with my two-hander, and that's a... Oh no, that's an 11 to hit, so that's not gonna hit. I got too excited.
That will not hit, sadly. Darren, you're up.
I'm gonna try and pad out this burning sensation in my side.
Yep,
Yeah,
you can use a
don't know
bonus
how.
action to do that.
Okay. Bonus action, I will stop this burning sensation.
You grab the other icicle that is currently still in his torso, pull it out, and push it against your arm, and you feel the cold seep into your skin, negating the immolation effect. He's blind. Go ham.
Okay, right, well.
So you get your sneak attack, babes.
Yep, yes I
You
do.
get your sneak attack.
That is a 23.
That'll hit.
I've got death
here real
second.
quick. Nope, already used my bonus action. Okay. It's 12.
Not the best
Wow.
rolls.
Wow.
12 points of damage as you slice into this figure's cloak as they stumble around disorientated, a giant pot sitting on their head. Ingvar, you're up.
I have icicle.
You have icicles.
So, noticing what happened the last time, he's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Takes one of the icicles from Kazma, giving the drag, an encouraging pat on the head for being such a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna fire at the whatever it is. Demon, the dragon. It's not a dragon itself.
It's a demon.
It's a
Well,
demon. Right.
yeah.
Devil demon. Same
Devil,
thing.
technically, but you know.
Oh. Brian. Ugh. That's a 29!
That'll hit.
That one's so kind of hit.
That one will miss.
What?
So, yeah, 2d8 plus 1d6. 17 points of damage, doubled, so 27 plus
34?
34, thank you.
I can math.
34 points of damage as you loose another icicle into their form. This one spears them through the torso.
Oh.
Looks unpleasant. You see, blood red ichor slowly descending the outside of the icicle. Kazma does...
Icicles.
Kazma does icicles. Kazma goes and grabs more icicles. The librarian is going to do 2 more Eldritch Blasts. That's a 17. That will hit. The other one won't. Rolling the damage. 13 points of Eldritch Blast. Not bad.
13 points of Eldritch Blast, straight to the dick.
Okay, and Visra is... I'm not dealing with that.
I love it.
Xanthris is going
He's
to
distracted by a butterfly.
use their bonus action to phase shift. You watch as they teleport 5 feet over to here, and the pot gets left behind as they phase through it.
Not my pot!
And then, because you're still the closest one, Darren, they're gonna go for you with another dagger and curved sword combo with a 11 to hit and a 16 to hit.
It hits. Like, can I dodge? Half damage.
Okay. So you dodge the dagger this time, but the rapier does hit for 3d8, I believe it is. 12 points of damage divided 6 points. You take 6 points of damage. The figure is looking at all of you wildly as its head is still ringing as it's slightly disoriented, trying to get its bearings. It sort of snarls at you, Darren. It goes, as it lunges for you.
And you know that's a slur.
Is he getting cold damage off that ice?
The icicle is still embedded in his body. It hasn't been. He hasn't tried to remove it. It only does more damage when a removal is attempted. Prod, you're up.
It's not gonna go for the pot effect again.
I mean, you could hit him with it.
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if a cauldron would do more damage than my sword.
Than the necrotic greatsword. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna try to hit it with the sword twice. That's a... No, so that's a 16 to hit.
16 will not hit.
And my other one was a 9, so that probably also won't hit.
No, that will not.
So Prod flails, and failing his flailing, he then decides to try and grapple the monster as my bonus action. I will try and grapple.
Hey! Yeah. Alright. Roll me a strength check.
He's a strong ass boy.
You have to beat a 6. Hold on.
Oh dear.
What's the modifier, Elfie? What's the modifier?
No, that's plus the modifier.
That's plus the modifier? Oh no.
That's
So I
Now,
rolled
that's
a
a now,
natural
that one.
1.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, this thing has
man
a
of
minus
extreme.
2 to strength, by the way. You lunge for it, and
Look, I was so proud of
you-
myself.
You think you've got it, and then you realize that you got the cloak, but the cloak is partially immaterial, so your arms just phase through it because you didn't quite catch the torso, as it's still bearing down on Darren. Darren, you're up. No flanking for you this time. It is very focused on you.
I mean, I've been holding on to a point of inspiration. I guess I could use, but not right now. I'm gonna save that. that's the last health potion in my inventory right there. I'm gonna use my bonus action to hex.
Okay.
It'll take disadvantage on strength checks, I guess.
Fair enough.
On
Yeah.
top of the -2 already.
On top of the -2 already, yes. Okay. Guess I'm just gonna try and attack the thing.
Okay.
So, that's a 7. Meh. That would have been so nice if it crit. 26.
That'll hit. 26. That'll hit.
That is 2d6 plus 2. 1d6 of which is necrotic. That is 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. You slash forward with the dagger, leaving a trail of ichor in your wake. Okay. Ingvar, you're up.
Guess who forgot their extra attacks the last 2 rounds?
No!
Not you anymore?
Ah!
It's fine. Now you know. Now you remember.
Yeah. It's brief. Anywho, same first as the rest. Icicle.
Fair enough. Roll
He's
me
gonna-
an attack.
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's just gonna be impaled with icicles for the rest of life. That's 22.
That'll hit.
I have no idea if I actually threw that, but give it a second. That's a nat 20.
Natural 20. Not bad. Okay,
Oh.
let's roll damage for these first.
Right, so I'm going to roll these separate because of that crit.
Yeah.
So the first one is going to do 10.
10 points of damage, so that'll be a total of 20.
That's 24 with a crit.
24. Doubled because of vulnerability, so that's 48 points of damage in one icicle as it shoots forward. This thing has icicles like through its torso. You could almost use them as a ladder at this point.
Oh
Okay,
dear.
extra
I love
attack.
the extra attack is weird. What?
That'll hit. That will miss.
An attempt. Well, that's one ammo anyway. Well, icicle. Another 20.
Okay, another 24 points of damage. This thing looks dangerously close to keeling over at this point. You can see bright red ichor dripping across the floor. Some of it is igniting the floorboards at this point. Its ephemeral cloak is half stained. It looks like the ichor sometimes catches on it and then sometimes doesn't and just drips to the floor.
You
And
guys might
it's
wanna
sort of
get out of there.
swaying in place with its two weapons drawn, bearing its fangs at you, Darren. But it's looking woozy and unsteady and not in a happy way. Kazma goes to get icicles.
Yeah.
Can Prod go, Casma, throw something to me? Is that allowed?
I'll
mean, you could-
allow that as a free action, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, hold on. Yeah, you can fly in there, drop icicles off, and then just, well, come straight back out, I guess, with his speed.
Yeah,
'cause he's
yeah, that's
60.
doable.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
going to drop some icicles off for Prod and then just book it the hell out of there.
Okay. So you now have a 2-foot-long icicle prod.
Fuck
I'll
yeah.
say. The librarian is going to do another pair of Eldritch Blasts. That's gonna be neither hitting, sadly. Visera is staying out of the way. Xanthris, the Deep Speaker, is going to... They step back from you slightly, Darren, as they unsteadily sort of sway. The blood sort of scimitar that they have in their hand drops, turns to ichor and falls to the floor where it sizzles into the planks. The other blade that they have, they grab and they thrust into their torso and twist. As they do so, you see this red glow start to emanate from the center of their being and pulse and pulse and pulse, and suddenly, with an almighty crack, their body explodes. I need both you and Prod to roll me dexterity saving throws.
Ooh.
The DC to beat is a 17, shall we say.
Evasion.
Evasion?
I have evasion.
You have evasion.
If it's half damage on a fail, then if it's half damage on successful, I take nothing. Right.
They got 16.
So you
Whatever,
fail,
full-
Elfie?
Yeah.
12, so I still take
12.
half damage.
You take half damage. Okay. This explosion rips through the house. You guys take 34 points of damage to you, Elfie,
Whoa!
and 16,
17.
17 points of damage to you, Line. As this being explodes in front of you. The entire building is smeared in black ash and possibly bits of flesh. You see the brittle pieces of bone strewn across the floor. You see what is left of the ephemeral cape wisps slowly down to the floor, and in the middle of it all, what clatters down onto the floorboards, this long obsidian stiletto knife. And that ends initiative.
Yay!
Are you guys okay in there?
Yeah. Can I get a high five? Those icicles were perfect.
Sure.
Can I roll for a great high five?
In its desperation and fear, it decided that the best thing it could do was to take you with it.
And it still failed at that.
It still failed at that, but I'm guessing it was a
Pretty damn
close
close.
one. Yeah.
Ow! I am down to 1/3 of my hit points.
Do I have any more lay on hands? Yes, I have so much lay on hands. Do you want some hands to be laid on you?
Sure.
How much? I got 40.
I'm just gonna slump into the stool by the table and just like,
Across from the
Fine.
dead body.
40 hands.
I'll
I'll-
whatever you've got.
I'll give you
Ah.
I'll give you 20 hands.
20 points of healing.
Anyone else feeling rough around the edges?
Still.
No.
I am. Can you lay on hands yourself? Is that allowed?
Yeah, you can lay on
Yeah.
hands yourself.
Right, I'm gonna rub myself for a whole 10 hit points.
I think some gods consider it to be kind of lewd, but you know, you can do it.
I mean, god of theatre and pleasure, so
Yeah, probably fine.
I think you're fine, Elfie.
Masturbating is like
Yeah.
part of it.
I think I've got cure wounds. If anybody needs cured. Still.
Okay. The raven hops in from outside, looking around cautiously before it flies over to the dead body and deposits the head in its lap. It's a bit of a grim scene.
We
but
need
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, go ahead.
We need to bury this body, or at least get it the fuck away from here so they stop trying to resurrect it. Or destroy it.
I mean, really depends what they've got access to, but respectfully, this body should be petrified.
It does that. Can you bring a dwarf back from petrification using a dark ritual? Do you know? Do I know?
Roll
Magic to desecrate a body is not exactly my forte.
roll me a Arcana check, one of you.
Can we get a librarian to do it?
Yeah, sure. You can get the librarian to do it.
My Arcana's +5, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm assuming
The librarian's Arcana is +7.
Yeah.
And they roll a 20. The librarian steps forward and goes, well, I don't really know. Dwarf petrification doesn't really work the same way as standard petrification. I think maybe if you get to the body while it's... Oh no, Spells like Speak with Dead would probably still work, regardless of the state that the body is in. It doesn't really require the body to move, just to answer, and realistically, all you really need for that is the head, and the head doesn't have lungs at the moment, but you can still speak with dead, so it would probably work. I don't know if... I don't think depetrifying a dwarf would make them live again, honestly. I think they kind of... They're already dead by the time the petrification sets in, so it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, I'm not really sure, though. It's untested, as far as I'm aware.
Maybe perhaps things with dead first, see if that worked, before trying to unpetrify.
Would it be respectful to petrify the body, but maybe dispose of the head in some other way?
Where do dwarves think the soul is? Religiously?
Dwarves believe that the soul is dwarves believe that the soul takes the shape of a being. So the whole body is the anchor of the soul, essentially.
So if you took a dwarf's head, is that taking a piece of their soul rather than their entirety?
Yeah, pretty much. Stealing a piece of a dwarf's soul by removing part of their body. Because their body was made to house their soul. Thusly, it is connected to everything.
Oh, that probably means that dwarves are like Jehovah's Witnesses and they refuse blood transfusions as well. Ugh.
No, it's like...
They're probably against organ transplant.
I mean, in this day and age, organ transplant isn't really a thing.
Hey, you want to buy a kidney?
Hey, you want to buy a kidney? You want to buy a spleen? I got some spleens. I don't know what you'll use them for, but I got some spleens. Anyway.
I mean, it's not ideal. I don't think most would consider it to be like a hideous affront, so
It's definitely not standard cultural practice.
yeah, but it's not like it's not desecration, but it's not the worst possible desecration.
Right.
Like, the worst
It's only
possible
a little
desecration
bit of desecration.
would be...
Under the circumstances, I as the resident dwarf give you permission to do so.
Okay. Let's get the body ready for petrification, take this head, and burn it. I don't know how to lead this. I'm not culturally practiced in dwarf petrification. I'm gonna leave it up to you, if that's okay.
Well, dwarf
It's
petrification.
generally it's like when a Minecraft mob dies and falls over in a cloud of smoke. It generally just happens.
Yeah, it takes time, basically.
It's part of the death
Um,
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our form of decomposition.
So it
That's what you guys
essentially
do, right?
what you guys saw at Farandan outside the gates were 4 statues of dwarves, but they were actually dwarves before they were statues. So essentially,
Oh.
what happened? One of the cultural practices is to a dwarf will write a preferred set of like statuary poses before they die, and carry that list on them, so that when they die, they'll be able to inform someone of the preferred visual that they want to impart to their descendants. Some of these, some dwarves have had interesting senses of humor regarding this sort of thing. And some dwarves have been put very deep in certain catacombs so that most people can't see them.
That's delightful. Let's search the body, see if he's got such requests upon him or in his house. Maybe
Yeah.
someone with good investigation could do that.
Maybe someone who knows where dwarves would keep such things would be able to do that.
Yep.
Yep.
And I roll an
It won't
investigation.
require an investigation check.
Okay.
You would know where this item would be.
Right.
Usually it's kept in a small...
Under the 4th floorboard to the left of the front door.
Usually
As is
it's
tradition.
kept in a small amulet, a small locket that contains this like small piece of description. The pose that Olga Antfen has requested is a meditation pose, a traditional dwarven meditation pose, which is essentially kneeling on the ground, hands over one's chest, head raised to the sky, sort of most of the time when a dwarf has its head turned to the sky, it usually means that they're seeking the favor of one specific god who is known to live in the higher mountains or the higher mountain regions, because dwarves don't really care about the sky itself. They're more interested in the caves that are above them that might contain interesting minerals. The pose itself kind of requires the head, but it's you're gonna have to make a choice, essentially.
Under the circumstances, we can dispose of the head, but the rest of the body should be treated as requested.
Yeah. Should we take the body to somewhere where they can't find it for a bit until the petrification process is complete?
Is there a mine nearby at all?
I mean, that tower that we were just in seemed a pretty nice place.
Is there any prescription of exactly where to put this in the...
Usually, most dwarves will usually request to be placed underground.
Yeah, so ideally, there's some kind of underground, like a cave or something.
You did spot a small cave near the entrance to Devil Mora, which isn't too far off the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we got a weekend at Bernie's. This thing over to the cave.
Cool. Prod's gonna take the body, and he's got a lovely cloak on when we did our fashion episode. So he's gonna sort of like sling the arms over his shoulders and then like whip the cloak over it. But because the dwarf doesn't have a head, it's not gonna like bulge or anything. It just looks like he's holding his backpack straps.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. Are you
and-
guys trying to do this stealthily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't bump into anyone on the way here, so.
Okay. I mean, most of the town is like drunk at the moment.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have heard the explosion?
It wasn't like a loud explosion. It was like a crack, like someone's spine was snapping. Yeah, love those descriptions, don't I?
Just a touch.
Before
I
we
would just
go,
prefer not to have to explain this to anybody.
before we go, should we do a quick search of the house to see if there's anything important upstairs or something like that?
Yes.
Like the potion recipe that we should probably burn.
As far as you guys are aware, you couldn't find anything the first time.
Oh, okay.
And the house has been pretty thoroughly searched since then by multiple people, apparently, including but not limited to devils from the Nine Hells. So at this point, if you couldn't find anything, and if they couldn't find anything, there's nothing there to find.
Right. Let's leave the majority of that like fiendish mark on the floor. So if anyone comes back here, they're just gonna think someone from the Nine Hells took them, and the body. So
Which, you know, is a generally a totally normal and perfectly okay thing to happen that no one should be worried about.
well, it's not like guy missing a head was abnormal or okay. So I think it's just a.
Oh, guy missing a head was very abnormal.
But that's what I mean.
Those guys use their head for lots of things. All the time.
Anyway, let's get going and try and sneak past and put this guy where he should be.
Roll me a group stealth check real quick.
Who's gonna? Does that mean everyone in the group or one person? from the
Everyone
group?
rolls, and then we even it out, essentially.
Okay.
Yep.
Stealth. Plus a 20.
19.
23. 22. Okay.
So far, so good. Never mind.
Oh god.
Okay, so the first one of those was a 9, I think.
I
So
have 3.
okay. Okay, so it balances out. 3 successes to 2 failures. So you guys are fine. You managed to make your way through the town. The only person that's out and about is like the local drunk, who's just like slumped in a corner, does not acknowledge you. You guys, you get to the cavern. It's this small, like, grotto type thing that's inset into the side of the pass. It's a little out of the way, and it's deep, and there's, like, you can turn a corner, and it hides you from sight. You lay out the body as requested. You notice, actually, that the boots and the tips of the fingers and stuff have already started to petrify. Body's been here about 2 weeks now, so... The process will take time, but it's easy enough to arrange the body into that sort of position.
Right.
Should we cover it until it's fully petrified, or?
Generally speaking, you leave it in situ. Just
Okay.
underground where no one's gonna disturb it much. At best.
Okay. And where would be a symbolically appropriate place to burn the head? Would it work here?
blacksmith would probably be a good spot.
Did this town have a blacksmith?
Yes, he
Yes.
was literally the first guy we met. He was old and hot.
He was old and hot, and you guys hated his voice, which was the point.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll agree to burning the head of his friend.
Yeah, that's why we don't tell him.
Fair enough.
Once it's in the forge, carbon is carbon.
Valid point. Let's make our way to the blacksmith in the dead of night.
It's like early evening, but yeah.
In the early evening.
In the early evening.
The drunk of evening.
The
As
drunk
opposed to
of
the dead
evening.
of night.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are they? They were like along this path, weren't they?
Yes. So yeah, just down there.
Ah.
How hot is the forge? If it's evening, I presume it
It's-
hasn't been ignored for too long.
It hasn't been ignored for too long. It's like, it's not dying embers, but it's definitely not red hot, essentially. It's like, it's been stoked within the last few hours, but the embers are like, it's like hot coals, basically.
Okay. If there's anything to stoke it, I throw some more logs on. We have the head, right? The raven doesn't have the head anymore.
No, you have the head. The
We have
raven,
the
the
head.
raven's gone.
Okay.
Long gone.
Let's put the head on the fire. Put some logs on there. Stand round it inconspicuously until it's burnt.
Yeah, it takes a good like 20 minutes, but once you heat the fire to its proper like burning temperature, the head goes up in flames very quickly. Eventually, all that's left is a charred skull, but the skull is intact.
Should we keep the skull? Or is that a
No.
bad idea?
No.
No!
We should bone meal the skull.
I know, throw it on the local fauna.
Let's
Local
hang on to the
fauna?
skull, and then
Throw it at a nearby deer.
why don't
Yeah, man, the
we,
plants!
Flora.
why don't we
Close enough.
hang on to the skull for a bit, and then when we're the next town over, we'll find a cave and pop it somewhere in a cave. It's underground, right? That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's
I mean, my brain just goes, then what was the point of burning the head?
a little bit, yeah.
Oh.
We've already we're in when it comes to like desecrating a corpse, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Let's bone meal it.
Everyone got a fizzle and mortar.
You have a flail, Ingvar. Heavy
He just looks
bludgeoning
like-
object.
I also have a mace.
He just looks at the
We'll-
pair of them and just
We'll
have
take
a
clear out the
Isaac's
throat.
mace.
Yeah, you do it.
We'll take the skull away from the forge first. It's
Okay.
toasty, so I'll wrap it in like a cloak or something so I'm not burning my hands, and we'll take it away
Yeah.
from here.
Okay, so you take it away. One of you grabs a heavy looking weapon or object and you smash the thing to pieces. Eventually, its charred, blackened, ruined skull no longer even resembles bone shards. It's just part of the gravel.
Sick.
Happy
Yeah.
with yourself.
I'm trying to think. Would it be like especially respectful given the circumstances for us to just like everyone gets a heavy object and we just do a round on it?
Yeah.
Not particularly.
like we're hammering metal.
Not. I mean, it's not that strong. It's a burnt skull.
But it's just like...
It
is
took
more-
like one blow to crack right down the middle and then shatter. So, but yeah.
Ava wants no part of this bludgeoning process.
I don't want any part of this circumstance, but here we are, because we don't have a choice.
You want to sing some sort of dwarf
As you're
mining
all
song? I don't know.
finishing this up,
Okay, if I'm to sing a dwarf mining song, then I'll walk solemnly up to the gravel and say, "I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole,
I knew it!
diggy diggy hole."
Rod
Fucking hell.
starts to cry over this
congrats,
beautiful
Lion! You've just
funeral
made
song.
Diggy Diggy Hole canon to this universe.
Psychic damage.
Psychic damage to everybody in chat, to
Ow.
everybody in this Discord call. Oh god.
Look, it sounds better in the original Dwarven.
Yes, I'm sure it does. I shunkra tantri vandro, vi tantro, vi tantro.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like Klingon opera. It's never quite the same in English.
Right. Ava just kind of looks over and just face palms because he understands what he's singing.
Okay. As you're all standing around finishing this all up, you see a rider come down from the mountains, essentially like going as fast as they can on a horse through Devil Mora. They stop at your party, and the rider sort of dismounts, out of breath. This skinny sort of messenger type person says, I'm looking for a Visera Ochiva. Is there a Visera here? Or have I missed them?
Ingvar just points to.
Visera.
Point.
Visera sort of
It'll-
raises a hand, and the messenger proffers a scroll parchment.
Oh, no, it's been
Visera
served.
opens it, reads through it, and goes, my teacher's been sighted in the north.
For glittering?
No, we thought they were in the south near the deserts, but someone saw them up north.
Huh.
Well, this changes things.
You
And
wanna.
Visera turns to the rider and goes, are you heading back north soon? The rider goes, yes. Yes, I have space for one more if you need it. Visera nods and turns to you all and goes, well, it's been fun. I hope to see you all again at some point in the future. Maybe once I find my teacher, we can find each other and swap stories. I think that would be nice.
It's certainly been interesting having you along for the ride so far.
Yes.
Uh.
I wish you all luck in your next steps. And
And
may Metano watch over you in the dark times.
She
look
will.
to you as well.
And good luck, friends. And the messenger and Visera mount the horse, and they ride off back towards Farrenholm. Dusty hasn't been here for a few sessions, and I needed a way to move them out of the
Yeah.
plot, because I don't think they're
No.
I don't think they're hyper focusing on D&D at the moment.
Right.
They may return in the future. We shall see. And with that, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, that is where we're going to end the stream tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the battles. Very quick thing before we go. Flying. Did you want to pick up that dagger?
The one that set me on fire?
Yes, the obsidian stiletto dagger that was dropped by Xanthus.
I feel like I probably shouldn't.
But
This feels like a plot point somehow.
is
I mean,
it?
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Oh, we've already got a blood contract to Asmodeus, for God's sake. We really need to be adding on to whatever this is.
Yes.
I mean,
Do
if
you
Darren
want
won't
it or
pick
not? Do you want the dagger or not?
I'm not generally fond of things that have been impaled in me.
If Darren doesn't want it, Ingvar can pick it up. Solve that
It doesn't
problem.
matter who picks it up. It's lying on the ground. Does one of you want it? Is my question.
I'm
Thanks.
already cursed enough. I can't have another thing.
Ingvar,
Read on that.
Yeah.
I will send you the stat sheet for that dagger later.
It replaces the soul shot.
For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us this evening. It has been most enjoyable. I hope my players had fun. I know I did. We are going to go on the Twitch side, and we're going to raid. Who's live right now? Who's doing stuff and things and stuff? Let's see.
Ops D gear.
Olaf is playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Let's raid them. Thank you all very much for joining us, everyone. Have a very good evening and a very good night. And we shall see you all tomorrow, hopefully, for something. I don't know. I can't fucking remember what I stream these days.